that for you as well. We'll go first to Brett Friedlander.
Hey, Hubert, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. So during your 10-game winning streak, you held each of those 10 opponents to 70 points or less. The last 6 games, 4 of them have scored 80 or more. What's been the difference, and what do you need to do to kind of get back into that defensive mindset?
Well, I mean, you're right in that 10-game stretch, from a defensive standpoint, I thought, we were really locked in, particularly half court, defending without fouling, finishing possessions with a rebound, protecting the paint and also protecting the three. Those are things that in these, was it last 6 games or whatever, we have done, but not as consistently well. And those are things that we've talked about as a team and as a group that we've got to get back to, is just being more consistent and sound from, the fundamental standpoint, defending without fouling, protecting the paint, helping the helper, the little things that make big things happen. And so it's one of the things that I'm excited about this week, is not having a midweek game, is that for the first time in a long time, we can actually practice as opposed to practicing for preparation for a particular opponent.
Thanks, Hubert. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Go next to Royal Howell.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Coach, you just mentioned a moment ago, being sound and being more consistent. As you prepare for Virginia this week, at Virginia, hostile environment, a team that is well known for their pack line defense and off of the pick and rolls, they like to hedge hard. What are ways that your backcourt, or you look to kind of translate your offense to, attack the paint with Elliot Kadu and RJ Davis? What are ways that you can attack that pack line defense to get a win at Virginia?
Well, I mean, from an offensive standpoint, that's what we want. I mean, we always want to dominate points in the paint through post penetration, offensive rebounding, and that's consistent with whomever we play. And our persistence of attacking the paint and living there, living at the free throw line, that's what we're going to have to do, whether it's in a half court or in transition. And so, Virginia obviously is a great defensive team, and we've got to find a number of ways to be able to get the ball to the paint, get the ball to the basket, with Armando, with our guards, in transition, attacking the glass offensively. The free throw line's has been a huge key for us. It's, we get to the free throw line more than anybody in the ACC. And so that's a big part of our offense. And that's something that, we'll try to do successfully against a really good Virginia team.
Thanks, Coach.
Go next to Andrew Jones.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're well today.
Yeah.
So what are a couple of the top things maybe on the list of to-dos this week that to work on, since you now have time to work on you and not worry about another opponent until the end of the week? What are a couple of those things?
One-on-one defense, just winning our individual one-on-one matchup. You don't get into rotations if you can guard the ball. And, one of the things that I've always said is the ball is the problem. If you take care of the ball, whether it's in one-on-one transition, ball screen action, Chicago, DHO, if you take care of the ball, everything else will take care of itself. And then also when, those drives come, whether it's a slot drive or a baseline drive, just going over the rotations in terms of where the help is coming from and where the help, helping the helper. And I feel like at times that is broken down a little bit. And just to reinforce our rotations, first of all, not getting into rotations, but if we do, what it looks like on the backside and just being more sound defensively.
Some of the guys have mentioned in the last couple of weeks that you've added a few things as you've gone along, some of the actions that you guys have run. In fact, Armando said you ran a few more for him the other day that were implemented. Is this also an opportunity to maybe add a few things as well, not just refine some stuff, but also add some stuff?
Are you talking offensively or both ends?
Well, both ends, but certainly offensively, because that's more specific what some of the guys have been saying lately. Because Armando said the other day, you specifically added some things for him for the game this past weekend.
Yeah, we have, and I mean, and even adding stuff on the defensive end as well. I think there's, throughout the year and specifically, for the remainder of the season, I'm always looking, to add things to, what we're doing consistently on both ends of the floor. I think, one of the things that I don't want to give is any opponent a steady diet of, understanding or knowing exactly what we're going to be doing on both ends of the floor. So anytime that we can add or change or tweak or alter things, I think that's good news for us. And also just, finding ways, for Armando, for RJ, just how defenses have been playing them, finding ways to get them the ball a little bit differently, a little bit better, depending on the defense, to allow them to be really effective on the offensive end, because, we just need them from an offensive standpoint playing extremely well.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Michael Coe, go ahead.
Morning, Coach. I hope you're enjoying the bye week.
Yeah.
Do you have any Coach Lefty Drizel stories that you can share with us?
I grew up right outside of Washington, D.C. area on the Virginia side. And, I just remember going to Cole Fieldhouse, watching Carolina play all the time, when, my uncle played at Carolina, and then every time that they played Maryland, I always went to see, Carolina play at Cole Fieldhouse. I will say this, I don't have, specific, because stories on Coach Drizel, but I will say, people ask, what are the toughest places that I've ever had to play? And the two places by far were Reynolds Coliseum, and number one was Cole Fieldhouse. I just, that crowd, that atmosphere is one of the best that I've ever experienced, and one of the most difficult places to play, as a visitor, visiting team. And, just the experience that I had there watching Carolina games and then being able to have the opportunity to play there was really cool.
Thanks, Coach.
We'll go to Chris Clark.
Hey, Coach Davis, just kind of piggybacking off of that. I'm asking ACC tournaments back in DC this year. You're
Yeah.
DC guy. I'll include Lake Braddock and the Bruins out there in that DMV area. What is it about that area, the culture, that just seems basketball just means a little bit more, if you will? And what is it in the players that you like, that you recruit, that you've run across in your time as a coach?
No, I'm glad, you get to go back home to DC. I did grow up on the Virginia side, but my dad worked 35 years for the Department of Education for the United States government. So I was in DC all the time playing pickup and, visiting my dad at work. And so it's nice to be able to have the ACC tournament back at home. The last time there, we had a really great game. It was 2016 in the ACC, finals against Virginia. And it's just, that area just loves ACC basketball. I remember when it was at the Capitol Center and watching ACC games at the Capitol Center outside of in Landover, Maryland. And so it's always been a place that has enjoyed and loved this conference, and there's a number of memories and from that area that have gone to ACC schools, whether it's been Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina. The DMV area is a place where a lot of talent feeds into the ACC.
Thank you, Coach.
Hubert, thank you for the time, as always. Appreciate it.
Okay, have a great day, guys. Okay.
Shoot.